Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel English by Dr. Himanshu Kanpal. In this video, Basics of Phonetics Part 3rd, we are going to do the detailed study of consonant sounds. Looking back, so according to British RP, that is received pronunciation, there are 44 sounds in English. The 44 English sounds can be divided into two major categories. Consonants, they are 24 in number, and vowels, they are 20 in number. All this we have discussed in our previous slides. So, what is a consonant sound? A consonant sound is one in which the airflow is cut off either partially or completely when the sound is produced. In short, during the production of consonant sounds, the lung air escapes through mouth with friction. In contrast, a vowel sound is one in which the air flow is unobstructed when the sound is made. In short, during the production of the vowel sound, lung air escapes through mouth freely without any friction. The vowel sounds are the music or movement of our language. So, in this video we are going to discuss consonant sounds in detail. So, first we are going to learn what term consonant refers to. The term consonant refers to both letters and sounds. All the letters in the alphabet apart from 5 vowels, that is A, E, I, O, U are consonants. Thus, there are 21 consonant letters in the alphabet. The rest 5 are vowels, and they represent, important thing to remember is that they represent about 24 consonant sounds. A consonant sound is a basic speech sound that is articulated with complete or partial closure of the vocal tract. Always remember that a consonant is a basic speech sound articulated with complete or partial closure of vocal tract. Since the vocal tract is not completely open, the sound is stopped by teeth, tongue, lips, or constriction of the vocal cords at certain points. This thing we are going to learn in our next slides. What are consonant sounds? We are going to discuss it in detail. Consonants are produced by pushing air from the lungs and out through the mouth and or nose. Air flow is disrupted. Disrupted means interrupted by obstructions. Obstruction means blocking made by various combination of vocal articulator movements so that audible friction is produced. Here we can look at the example. If you pronounce a P sound, you will notice that your lips come together. You can feel it, you can experiment it yourself, and the air is released all at once. In other words, the airflow is totally obstructed, and after that we can hear audible friction, and audible friction is produced. Thus, consonants are classified under 24 consonants depending on their pronunciation. The differences are also classified by voicing status, that is, the consonant sounds are voiceless or voiced, the place of articulation, and the manner of constriction or obstruction or manner of articulation that influences the sound while being produced. So, the 3 things that we are going to learn in our next slide, that is the voicing status of the consonant sounds, the place of articulation, and the manner of articulation. This is the chart, and here we can have a look at the place and manner of articulation. The column shows, it means this side the column shows place of articulation, which are arranged from the front of the vocal tract to the back. It means like when we start from bilabial, we move to the glottal. So it is the table, the columns, they are arranged from front of the vocal tract to the back. That is, first is bilabial, then it is labiodental, dental, alveolar, post-alveolar, palato-alveolar, palatal, velar and glottal. This side it is given rows, shows manner of articulation. It means plosives, fricatives, affricate, nasal, lateral, frictionless, continuants. And in the same chart we can see voiceless consonants on the left and voiced on the right. Whole of the chart we are going to discuss in our next slides. This chart is important for the students to learn because it is very easy to have a look at the 3-term label of any consonant sound. For example, when I talk about sound P, it is termed as the 3-term label is voiceless bilabial plosive. Voiceless bilabial plosive. If I have a look at the sound B, it is voiced bilabial plosive. This is how we learn the 3-term label of any consonant sound. In this chart again, we are going to have a look at the example of consonant sounds and exactly the pronunciation of the consonant sounds. The first sound is P. This is P as in word pen, B as in word bat. The next sound is T, that is in word tin. Next sound is D, that is in word dog. Next sound is F, that is 5. Next sound is as in word van. The next sound is th, that is, this is like we can just pronounce the sound as that is in word thin. The next sound is the, it is pronounced as in word that. Next sound is as in word man. Next sound is as in word nose. Next sound is as in word thing. Then the glottal as in word half. Next sound is sh, that is ch, church as in word church. Next sound is j, as in word jam. Next sound is k, as in word kind. Next sound is g, as in word gun. Next sound is s, as in word say. Next sound is buzzing sound, that is z, as in word zoo. Next sound is sh, as in word ship. Next sound is z, as in word measure. Next sound is l, as in word leg. R, as in word run. W, as in word work. And the last sound is y, as in word yes. Okay. Now we are going to do the detailed study of consonant sounds. We are going to take the voicing status, place of articulation and manner of articulation. There are, as we all know, that there are 24 consonant sounds in English, and phonologists classify consonants by describing these three sets of categories: voicing, place of articulation, and manner of articulation. If the question is asked regarding consonant sound, we classify them using these three set of categories. As I have earlier told you, we use three term label on the basis of this, on the voicing status, on the basis of place of articulation, and manner of articulation. But to describe a consonant sound, we require following information. Some of the information I have already discussed in the previous slides. First thing is the airstream mechanism, that is, during the production of the sounds we make use of pulmonic aggressive airstream mechanism. Then the state of the glottis, whether the sound is voiced or voiceless. Then comes the position of the soft palate, oral and nasal sounds. These all three things, that is A, B and C, I have discussed in my previous videos. Now I am going to discuss two things that is important, that is place of articulation, that is use of active and the passive articulators, and then the manner of the articulation, that is stricture involved, which refers to the way in which the passage of the air is restricted by various organs of speech. So, we come to the voicing status. Voicing. By voicing, we mean whether or not there is vibration in the vocal cords when the sound is produced. Using this criteria, we have two types of sounds. First is voiceless sounds, those produced without vibration. Those produced without vibration. It means that vocal cords are wide apart. The sounds produced with wide open glottis are called as voiceless sounds, and there are 9 consonants are voiceless. It is important to remember that 9 consonants are voiceless. We have seen in the chart voiceless and the voiced consonants are given. It is very easy to learn here, like the voiceless sounds, that is p, t, k, ch, f, th, sh, s, sh, h. Once again, I will tell you the sounds, 9 sounds, that is p, t, k, ch, f, then th sound, then there is s, then sh, then h, and the remaining sounds are voiced sounds, those produced with vibration. So, the voice sounds, when the vocal cords come together and vibrate frequently, sounds produced are called voice sounds. So, 15 consonants are voiced. You can have a look at the 15 consonant sounds, that is b, d, g, j, m, n, l, v, d, g, z, j, r, v and y. I hope this is clear to you. This is the voicing status of consonant sounds. We have to remember that 9 of the consonants are voiceless and 15 are voiced. Okay, now we are going to discuss the place of articulation. Place of articulation means the two articulators involved in the production of consonant sounds. So, what is a bilabial sounds? Sounds, the two lips are the articulators, sounds produced with two lips, that is p, b, m, v, that is v. Then comes labiodental. The active articulator is the lower lip and the passive articulators are the upper front teeth. So, the sounds produced with the lower lips and upper front teeth are called as labiodental sounds, that is sounds Then comes the dental sounds, sounds produced with the contact of the tip of the tongue and the upper front teeth. The tip of the tongue is the active articulator and the upper front teeth are the passive articulator. You can make use of the tip of the tongue as the active articulator and upper front teeth as the passive articulator during the production of this sound. You can try this yourself, like in the like when we say the sound th, 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 then sound th, th. Next comes alveolar sounds, sounds produced with the contact of the tip of the tongue and the alveolar ridge. They are t, d, l, s and z sounds. Post-alveolar sounds, sounds produced with the tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, especially the area in between the alveolar ridge and the soft palate. That is the sound r. That is the sound r. Next sound is palato-alveolar. Palato-alveolar sounds are made with the tongue touching the region of the alveolar ridge or the palate. The tip of the tongue or the tip and blade of the tongue are the active articulators and the teeth ridge is the passive articulators. Palato-alveolars occur slightly deeper in the mouth than alveolars. The sounds are ch, ch, sh and zh. Then comes the palatal sounds, sounds produced with the contact of the blade of the tongue and the hard palate. It means the front of the tongue is the active articulator and the hard palate is the passive articulator. The sound is y. Velar sounds. Velar sounds produced with the contact of the back of the tongue and the soft palate. The back of the tongue is the active articulator and the soft palate is the passive articulator. The sounds are k, g and ng. Glottal sounds. The sounds produced in the larynx are called as glottal sounds. The glottal sounds are produced at the glottis and the two vocal cords are the articulator, the glottal sound. I hope this is clear to you. So, to summarize, there are 4 bilabial sounds, 2 labiodental sounds, then there are again 2 dental sounds, 6 alveolar sounds, 1 post-alveolar, 4 palato-alveolar, 1 palatal sound, 3 velar sounds and 1 glottal sound. Now we move to the manner of articulation. Manner of articulation refers to the stricture involved during the production of the consonant sounds. Stricture refers to the way in which the passage of air is restricted by the various organs of speech during the production of consonant sounds. Manner of articulation refers to the stricture involved and stricture refers to the way in which the passage of the air is restricted by the organs of the speech. Then the first sound is called as plosives, also called as stops. The air stream is blocked completely somewhere in the mouth, air pressure builds up and then it is released like a tiny explosion sound. The stops in English are P, B, T, D, K and G. Fricatives. The airstream is compressed and passes through a small opening in the mouth, creating friction. First one, tiny explosion. Second one, creating friction. A hissing sound. The airstream is never completely blocked, so the sound can continue. The fricatives are affricates, a combination of a stop followed by a fricative. An explosion, important thing is an explosion with a slow release. The affricates are ch, ch and ch, ch and j, j. Each of these syllable is made up of two parts, a stop symbol and a fricative symbol. This reminds us that the sounds also have two parts. Then comes the nasals. In these sounds, the tongue or lips block off the vocal tract so the air can't go through the mouth. Instead, the passage leading up into the nose opens so that the airstream can go out through the nose. The sounds in the nasal group are m, n, ng, m, n, ng. Lateral. Sounds made by directing airflow around the sides of the tongue, such as l, as in word listen. Approximants or frictionless continuants or semivowels involve an open approximation for the articulators, touch and kind of glide past each other without forming a complete closure and without any noisy interruption of airflow. In fact, these consonants are sometimes called glides. A glide is like a very quick vowel. That is why they are also called as semi-vowels. They are called as approximants or frictionless continuants or semi-vowels. For this reason, they are sometimes called semi-vowels, which means half vowels. They sound like vowels, but they can function as consonant. The approximant sounds in English are y, r and v. To summarize, plosives or also called as stops, they are 6 in number. Fricatives, they are 9 in number. Affricates, they are 2 in number. Nasals, they are 3 in number. Lateral, they are 1 in number. Approximants or frictionless continuants, they are 3 in number. I hope the study of consonant sounds is now clear to you. We have studied the consonant sounds on the basis of voicing status, the place of articulation and the manner of articulation. Here I am going to give you some of the recommended readings. You can consult the books like T. Balasubramanian's A Textbook of English Phonetics for Indian Students, J. Sethi, P.V. Dhameja, A Course in Phonetics and Spoken English. Then comes the Daniel Jones Cambridge English Pronouncing Dictionary. I hope you like the video. That's all for today. If you like the video, please share, like and subscribe. Thank you.